Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Chantele. And we're here to rate these players of Survivor this week.
Yay! But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And then also say hello to Isaiah.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Silent Podcast. Welcome. First time on Nerdtainment. How are you?
I'm good. I don't get to talk about Survivor a lot, so this should be a fun time. And hot take, the season's been kind of like iffy for me, so like the last episode was pretty good, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Oh, interesting. Before we dive into rating the players, yes, happy Halloween to those who I was going to say who celebrate, but we're all forced into it. Doesn't matter.
You're not a Halloween friend, and like you don't enjoy dressing up, Sarah?
God, no. I don't.
This might change things between me and you. I don't know.
Yeah, this is it. Kicking me out of the friend group. Yep.
Okay, interesting.
I will put on a onesie tonight and hand out candy, and that will be that about that.
Okay, well, that's something.
Anyway, before Chantele hates me, Isaiah, let's ask you about Ellie being voted off. We don't get to rate her tonight. So What was your feeling about her leaving this week?
I was like lukewarm on her at first. I didn't really care too much for her, like her whole game and everything, but she was giving me the whole very necessary drama that I needed. She played very hard. I liked it. Did I think that she was going to go? Yeah, because like once you start throwing out like 3-4 names, it's like you're going to get caught up, right? But no, I mean, she's a good merge mayor. Well, she didn't even make merge.
She didn't make the merge.
Well, look, she did a good job for the first pre-merge boot. So,
we're
good. Chantele, how'd you feel about this? I mean,
she played terribly for this episode. And like I wanted to support her, but like she was, you're super confident, and then when you have that edit, they're like, oh, she said this line and she's going home. Yes, I can't wait to air that. So it looks so bad on her part. And she didn't. Like, it's great to be like wanting to be in control of the game and like calling the shots, making the move. Like, that's great to want to be in that position, but it's really great also to listen to what everybody wants to do so that you don't maybe stick out or you won't call the name of somebody that people want to support. So I just think that she played it really poorly. She was overconfident. And she didn't really recognize that her relationships weren't as strong as she thought they were. And so, yeah, she played it really terribly. I really wanted to see her prevail, but she didn't put herself in a good position to do so. So I'm like, I was rooting for you, Ellie, but you didn't do it.
Womp womp.
Wasn't it? It was so fascinating. I had been waiting for this Ellie Gabler showdown. I wish they had gone to tribal beforehand, before merge, so that it could have just been their tribe and they could have just like absolutely exploded. But like, we knew that this tribe was the messiest. We knew that there was no way they were going to come into this merge like Black or Strong. Oh my God, we're so together. So I did love the way that it all fell apart. But yeah, oh my gosh, as soon as Ellie in the beginning was like, I'm better at this than I thought. You're like, oh, she's going home. Oh, wow. So thanks for playing, Ellie. It was entertaining. And I saw her in her exit press be like, that was hard to watch back.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah.
I think I heard that she also had said that Janine was willing to play the idol for her. And she's like, no, we got this, Baka Strong or whatever. And I'm like, if someone's willing to guarantee your safety, I think you should take it. I just be like, hey man, we'll get another idol somehow together, or what. If someone's willing to play it, just take that. Take it.
Especially if it's not your idol. I'm gonna be like, yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm willing to play it on you because I wanted to keep you in the game. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Even if it's wrong, it's better to play it wrong, I think, and like keep the ally. I think, but we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think that they both were, and we'll talk about it when we get to Janine, but I think they both were delusional on how safe they were. So that was a mistake on their part. But, had they played it and Ellie stayed, she'd be the target next time. Like,
fine, but like at least then everything would be out in the open, right? They were kind of snowed by their former tribe mates for the fact that they didn't know that everybody was really against them and that they didn't really want to work with them. Like now that everything would be out in the open, and at least they would have that information, and other tribes might want to pick up those numbers, if they want to strengthen their tribes, so, or their groups, whatever their alliance is. So yeah, I think that it would have been better no matter what for them for them both to stay for Janine's game anyways.
Yeah. Well, let's get into our ratings, guys. It's 1 through 5 dice. Because we're nerds, we use dice instead of stars. 5 being the best gameplay. 1, thank you, Isaiah. 1 dice is yeek. What are you doing? Mine are pretty middle of the road this week. I was surprised, but let's start off with Cassidy. Chantele.
I mean, do you know what? Cassidy is growing on me. She's starting to be part of the edit. She's seemingly really good at not giving away any information when she's having conversations with people. So like if someone's the target, like she's just good at lying or not revealing the truth or what she knows, and she kind of plays along with people, and I think she does that really, really, really well, because I think people believe her all the time. The fact that she was on the losing she was in the losing group, and her name was the decoy name as well, and I think she did get a vote, if I'm not mistaken. I want to give her a little bit higher, but I'm going to give her a 3, which is like a middle of the road. But she was able to not go home in this super small tribe. I think that now that she's made it to the merge, I think she's going to fade into the background. I'm hoping also for the fact that there's 5 women left in the game, that they'll be like, hey, I'm not taking out another woman right now. Like, or was there less, or is there 4?
Oh God.
Oh my God. I think there's 4. Hold on.
Cassidy, Janine, Carla, Noel. Yeah, 4. Oh Lord.
Yikes.
So I think at this point though, they could be like, okay, we don't have to be working together. We don't have to say we're an alliance, but let's just not vote out another woman for a couple of rounds. You know what I mean? And so hopefully that will let her kind of move forward for at least a couple more episodes, couple more votes. So giving her middle of the road, but I'm hoping that she will be able to last a little bit longer, because she's not going to be a threat.
Okay. Isaiah, how do you feel about a 3, higher, lower? What you thinking?
So I'm gonna be honest.
Oh,
I
please.
measure my ratings off of longevity, win equity, and a little bit overall of everything, right? I do not have that much confidence in Cassidy. I'm going to go if there was an opportunity to do like halves of numbers, then I would, but I'm gonna give it 2. And I don't know if Cassidy has what it takes to really build some like kind of story or resume or something for her if she were to get to that end portion of the game. I don't know. It's like I don't really know if she has what it takes to like run a vote efficiently. I'm not really sure what her compatibility prowess is right now. Obviously it's really early, so anything could happen, but I don't know. I'm just like looking at the other options on the board, and I feel a lot stronger about them than I feel about her. So I am going to give her a 2. If I could give her a 2.5, I would give her that. But things can change. There's so much time left, but we got to see what she got to do.
Well, a 2.5 would round up to a 3. So
no, we got to stick with a 2 then.
Stick with a 2.
Yeah, like these are definitely week by week ratings. She can definitely improve, or she can, do horrible. Like Mr. Ryan was doing great, and then last week he got a bunch
Your
of
guy.
Oh man.
I'm going to go middle of the road. I'm going to give her a 3. I didn't feel like we saw a lot of power moves or even trying power this episode. So there's no reason to bump her up. But she was possibly a target. I mean, I the more I'm talking about it, I could probably go down to a 2 as well, but I'll stick with the 3. She
Join
was
the
on the
dark side,
losing.
Sarah.
She was on the losing tribe, and she was possibly a target. I'm saying negative things, and I'm like 3, middle of the road. I mean, I think she has decent relationships, which is why she didn't end up being a target. So I guess
she
that's
has Carla on her side, and I think that's
huge.
That's a really good thing. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that there was a reason she wasn't actually a target and wasn't voted out. So I guess that's why I'm sticking middle of the road. And audience also averaged her out at 3 dice. So she is going to get a high 2, averaging 3 dice overall. So the audience, you saved her. You saved her from a 2. All right. Cody is up next for Isaiah to start us out. How many dice are you giving him?
So Cody's an interesting one. He is just like very all over the place. He feels like a cartoon character, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna give him a 3. I mean, like, I'm not sure how much respect he's going to garner if he were to get to that end portion with what I've seen so far. I feel like he could pull out a couple comp wins. Maybe I feel like he's willing to do some crazy stuff if he needs to. But with what I've seen, I feel like if we're seeing this like zany character, like how is everyone else going to feel about him? So, you can only take that for so long. I wonder if he butts heads with somebody, but for now, I'm very optimistic about him. I'm gonna give him a 3.
All right. I am much more optimistic about Cody than you are, and I might be Sagittarius bias.
Sagittarius crush for sure.
Yeah, he is living, and he, for whatever reason, we heard from several people. Well, let's not take Cody out. Well, but we want to keep Cody. Isn't Cody great? Like, that might bite him in the butt in another episode or 2 when people realize, wait, everybody wants to protect Cody. But because at least in this episode, he seemed very protected. His idol was basically outed, which we kind of knew was gonna happen once everyone heard about the beads. So I don't love that. So I'm actually bringing him down a dice because he was at 5. I'm giving him 4 dice this week.
Oh, I just want to say something about the outing of the bracelets and the beads. Like that was purposely placed that way because they wanted that knowledge as power advantage to like, like I'll be able to figure out who has an advantage if I know about the beads. And I don't like hidden immunity idols not being hidden, and it's so frustrating to me. So I'm happy that advantage is out of the game because like, I don't know. I don't like being able to steal someone's idol and knowing that you have it for something that you had to do to get it. It's kind of annoying. So anyways, just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, well, go ahead. You get to talk about Cody now.
Cody, I can't be as high as you are because I don't have that many placements in Sagittarius.
Completely biased. Okay.
I mean, I do have my Venus in Sagittarius, but that doesn't help me.
Lucky you.
I mean, I'm gonna go with what Isaiah is saying here. I'm gonna give him a 3. I mean, I think that I might have gone lower just because, not lower, but like he was on the losing tribe. He was the person that was going to be the decoy vote. It seems like he might become the decoy vote often, or people being willing to write his name down. And so I just don't know if he's in a great position. I kind of have to see what happens next week to see how everything shakes out because we're not in really a normal circumstance to see what the actual dynamics are. But so I think that he's kind of in the middle. For sure, because he has that idol. He is safe. It has been outed, but we'll see how it plays out. So 3.
Well, did you talk, Isaiah? No,
yeah, you started.
Okay, great. You started this. Audience is on my side. They gave him 4 dice. So he is rounding up to an average of 4 dice. Way to go, audience. Let's root for that living Sag. All right, Dwight. This is me. Where's Dwight's photo? Let's bring up Dwight. I don't know how much power he has in this mix. I don't know his social game now that we've merged, but I did see him kill that puzzle that made them win immunity when they were behind. So for that, I'm giving him 4 dice. I'm going to feel good about him right now.
Well, I feel the same because I wrote down Dwight 3+. I'm like puzzle guy. So I'm like, I kind of agree with you. I just don't know if he has that. His position is that great, like he was awesome in that particular challenge. But did we hear his voice as to who he wanted to have out, who he wanted to save? How did he vote? I don't remember.
Oh, I'll tell you.
It's a good question.
He was in on the vote. He did Ellie.
So that's good if he's in on the vote.
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't know if I can give him a 4.
Well, you don't have to.
I don't think I can. 3. It's a 3 for me. It's a 3 for me. A 3+ because it might end up being a 4. But so I'm fine with that if it happens. But 3 for me. Is everybody going to have a 3 today? No. Okay, I have other numbers.
All right, Isaiah.
Yeah, I'm gonna side with Chantele here. I'm gonna do a high 3. It's like I'm sure the edit's not showing us everything. I'm sure Dwight's chatting it up, making some bonds and everything. I don't know how I feel about him. I mean, he was really well set up within the Vessi tribe and everything, but like one thing didn't go his way. He seemed to try to like flip things for a second, and I don't know how I feel about that if it's in another situation like that, so I like him. I think that he has promise. I'm just really curious to see how he does as a solo player. I don't know if he's really curing these bonds that he needs late game. I'm curious. I want to see how he can do. He's a very quiet player. But I mean, look, I'm Team Dwight. I like Dwight. I think he's cool.
Right?
I just want to see him do well.
Well, audience also gave him 3, so I guess I was the only one feeling soups generous. So he is going to average out at 3 dice for Dwight. We are getting some 4s in the chat, though, so it's mixed. Who is after Dwight? Not Ellie. Gabler, Chantele, Gabler for you. I can't wait.
Well, I was listening to the Survivor Specialists a little bit, and they did their power rankings this week, and they still have him up really high. And I'm just like, what? And I forget his name, but he was just trying to convince Alexa how he's did a really great move this week. And I was trying to see it, and I was like, I don't see this being a good move at all. What would have been a good move is use that idol that you have to play this round, but you're safe. So you're going to tribal, so it's a valid idol. If you wanted to get out Ellie, what if you said like, hey, I heard that you're the vote. James, let's build something together. I'm going to use my idol on you, and we're going to get out Ellie, who was targeting you. Yeah. Build a bond, use that idol in a way that was effective, and still get the same outcome. I feel like what he did by outing Ellie when he wasn't even in the hot seat, he was in the winning group. I think he made himself out to be this target of like loose lips, can't trust him. Like, yes, maybe Sammy and Owen might come back and be like, still want to work with him. But we saw Sammy be like, oh man, what's Gabler doing? Like having to manage that type of energy, people will kind of be over it at some point. Like they don't need him anymore. It's not like a super small tribe anymore where his number is really that valid. I feel like it's going to fracture that group, and I feel like they're all going to find new bonds that are stronger than Gabler. So I just think that he played this very poorly, in my opinion. And I'm giving him, I'm like, do I do it? Do I do it? I think it was terrible. I'm giving him the 1. It was so bad. It was so bad. I thought it was so bad. Like it was a finesse, and he used an idol, and he did like some fancy footwork. Yeah, like I'd have been so impressed. But like I think he fumbled his advantage, fumbled his position in the game, fumbled his potential allies, fumbled the way he looks to all these new people that he's just meeting. I'm like, he has made himself, in my opinion, look like somebody that I do not want to work with, and I'll just be waiting to to take him out when I need to.
Ooh, Isaiah, what do you think?
I want to go on the record. I love Gabler. I think he's so messy.
I mean, as an entertainment point,
yeah, like as an entertainer, this guy is a complete mess, and I love what he's doing. But yeah, he's just so bad this week. He's definitely one. I wanted to be the one to do it, but he's a one. I feel like
you're doing the one too.
Yeah, I think Gabler put himself in a position where like he has to work with specific people now, and if he wants to flip, they can either throw him to the wolves or he's just kind of being dragged to the end. I don't know if people are going to respect what he did. Like who's at this moment is going to be like, I want to vote Gabler. Like, like I don't know if people are going to take this guy seriously. He's wild, man. So I'm going to give him a 1. I don't strictly because I don't think he really has a chance to win this season. I do think he's going to make it pretty far though. And I'm hoping he makes it far because he is cracked and I love it. Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys
are Halloween
about to come for me because I did not do it.
I can't even deal with you.
Okay, I'm not going that crazy. Okay, not a 5. But okay, so Gabler did not do any great games this week. Okay, yes. I think he did mess up his standings. People now fully know he is a hot mess. It's not just the Baka tribe. He basically stepped in and was like, I'm crazy. You can't really trust me. I'm a mess. I mean, his closest allies are like, oh no, what do we do? So no, I don't think his place in this tribe is great. He's definitely not winning this season. I wish Danny was here to talk about Gabler because I'd love to hear how he defends this. But I do think that he got what he wanted.
Okay.
Was it messy? Absolutely. Is it going to help him long run? No. But he made it very clear that she couldn't be trusted. He wanted her out and he had info to back it up, which made everybody else a little nervous. Then, of course, she ruined her game completely. But he got his target out. So I have to give him a little bit of credit for that. So I gave him...
Respect.
3. I gave him 3 for getting his target out, and the audience gave him a 3 too, as well. 3 as well.
I live with that.
So he is gonna average out at a 2.
Listen, I respect petty gameplay. He's joining like Cass and Debbie and like people who make petty moves. I'm here for it. I love Gabler.
Right? I mean,
you definitely make a good point that he did get his target out. But I think that it would have been better for him to, like, they know where the idol is. Like, why didn't they target Janine, get rid of that idol? I know it's Ellie is his main adversary, so like I get that, but like, or try to work with them and just be like, where like some power is, and that could help you further on down the road. So I mean, obviously we won't be able to tell how this is going to play out, obviously until the next few weeks, but I do respect the fact that he did get his target. He got out who he wanted to get out, and he didn't need to force anybody to do it. It was pretty easy for him.
Yeah, it was very easy for him. He just had to
2. He can have
around.
2.
So he's got a 2. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. All right, James is up. Isaiah, start us out with James.
I personally like James. I think he's playing a pretty good game so far. I like his bond with Carla a lot. I think that this is like maybe the second or third time, I think second time, where they really kind of took the game in their hands and like actively made some moves. I think he has a lot of potential as a player. Do I think he's going to win right now? I don't think that this cast is going to let him get to the end, if I'm gonna be honest with you. He's very unapologetically himself. He is down to make big moves and let you know that he's making them big moves, So I'm not going to give anyone a 5 unless I think that you have high win equity. If I can see it in the end and winning, I'm going to give James a low 4. I think he has a really good game, and I think he could do some real damage if he's positioned well. I just don't know if this cast is going to let him do it. this cast is really playing safe, and I don't think James wants to play safe. I think he wants to make some big moves. So I don't know. We'll see.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like he's with Carla, and I think that's great. I think that they can do some damage together. But this week he was on the losing tribe. His name was brought up, as a target. So, and again, even though it was, I think his relationships saved him and he didn't end up being the actual target. But I'm going to go middle of the road average gameplay for James. Chantele.
James. I mean, I'm enjoying seeing a little bit more of James. I don't like the fact that he was in the hot seat. I don't understand why Ellie decided to target him. So that kind of annoys me that I thought he was in a really good position when he was on his tribe by himself, before they merged or almost merged. And so the fact that she targeted him, I'm like, what did he do? Did he do something that we didn't see? Or, was it just like bad luck on his part? So I just wish that he didn't have that target on his back, because it's just a lot easier to focus on people that have already been spoken about, to focus on people that have already received votes, focus on people that people are willing to take out of the game. So I worry for him for that. But again, because he has Carla, I think Carla is a power player in this game, this season, this merge. And I feel like right now, subtly, it seems, what she says goes. And so I think that she's going to be able to protect him, and in a way that's not going to maybe ruin her own game. And so I think for that, I'm going to agree with you, Sarah. I give him a 3. I'd love to give him higher, but I'm still nervous for him.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, the audience also gave him 3 dice. So he does average out to a 3. Sorry, Isaiah.
That's okay. It was a low 4. It was close enough.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, I would really like to see what he and Carla and Cassidy can make happen, because I feel like the strongest of the little alliances that we might have.
Now, do you think that they're going to become the targeted tribe? Just because remember when the other 2 tribes targeted them in the immunity challenge? Do you think that that's going to still play out, or do you think that dynamics will shift? Like, what are your immediate thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Isaiah.
Sure. I mean, so if the dynamics were to flip, you're asking basically, do you think that James is going to jump ship?
Well, I mean, that could be something that happens, or will they become the target of old Baka and old Vessi? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, will they be just in the hot seat? Like, even Carla being in the hot seat, Carla, Cassidy, him.
I mean, I feel like Carla is willing to fall back and not let the heat get on her, where I feel like James, if this episode definitely didn't show that, is willing to be like the guy in the front driver's seat and try to run a vote. And I think if he was in a situation like that, I feel like he wouldn't be able to fall back. I have a little bit more confidence in Carla. I think that she will be able to manage her threat level a little bit, but I feel like if James gets out of 10, he's going to stay out of 10 for the rest of the season. So I don't know. We haven't seen him face much adversity, so I'm really up in the air about him right now. But I think that he has the keys to do well.
Yeah, in one of what's her name? Ellie. Ellie was just evicted. Ellie's exit press. She was like that feeling that Coco needed to be knocked down because they didn't go to tribal for so long. She was like, that was still in the back of our heads, even though they did go to tribal. They're close to merge, but that they had existed for so long with that feeling that we've got to attack Coco. They can't be the majority. That was kind of lingering. So it might still be lingering, but I do feel like the fact that Baka exploded and things just got really messy, hopefully did shake it up a bit, and they kind of lost that and now see everything differently.
Right. That makes sense.
I'm personally hoping that Carla, James, and Cassidy can be a bit of a power group. But yeah, they might very easily be the target just because they seemed so safe for so long. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Janine, I get to talk about Janine. Well, this was interesting. Okay. I don't feel like everything was her fault. But I definitely didn't love how she seems to trust blindly. She just seems very trusting. And once she started getting fed all these lies, I think she just really wanted to believe them. And that concerns me about her longevity, like her down the road. It did not work out for her in this episode, obviously. She lost her closest ally. And I don't think she realized that she should have played her idol, or that she could have, that they were in that much danger. I think she genuinely missed that and thought that they were safe and she didn't have to play it. But so she's deducting some dice there, but I'm adding dice back in because she was on that puzzle and won them immunity. And I think what she and Dwight did, right? It was her and Dwight, was really impressive. They had a really, really good comeback. So deducting and adding just puts us right smack dab in the middle.
Well, and she has an idol. So yes. That's also kind of
know it, but
secures her there for me. I'm agreeing with you, Sarah. I think that she's at about a 3. I'm liking her a little bit more than I was in the beginning of the season. Like, I think she's a little bit quirky. She's kind of like, when she runs over to the wrong tribe and be like, okay, guys, we got this.
My gosh.
Like, wrong group, girl. Wrong group. Like, it was endearing. I think that I don't think people are going to be threatened by her, especially without her having Ellie there. So it's very possible for her to fade into the background, and she still has a little bit of that power with that idol. Hopefully she's going to find her another person to work with, like an Ellie, and hopefully it's the other women.
Hopefully it's Carla.
Hopefully it better be Carla. Like, if she wants to stay in this game, she better partner up with Carla. And so I just think that she does have some room to pivot and to really change her game, and nobody's going to fault her for not wanting to work with her previous tribe members.
Right.
And I can see them also, though. Like, it seems like Owen, I can't tell what Owen did, if he voted that way to save his relationship with Janine, or if he also believed that they were going to take out James. Like, I'm not sure what Owen did there, but she does still seemingly have a friend in Owen. And so I think she might be able to pivot and do well. So 3 for me. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Go Janine.
Good.
She's cute.
She is. All right, Isaiah.
I know a lot of people are going to say she should have played the idol. Okay, whatever. I personally think that this is a very self-interested game, and whether she likes it or not, I'm actually glad she didn't play the idol. I think that she can finally kind of almost reset her game a little bit. People are kind of looking at those two, her and Ellie, as like a pretty tight group. I mean, type like friendship right there. So if everyone saw her play her idol on someone else, everyone's going to be going after them for the rest of the game, so she can finally kind of like do this reset. She can kind of pitch herself, if she does it correctly, as like a tool to be used. I probably, if she did play that idol, I will say I would have gave her a 1. I'm going to give her a 2 this time. I feel a little better about her, and maybe she can get scooped up in some alliance that needs her.
Wait, I'm sorry. How many dice did you end up giving?
2.
Okay. 2. You said I wanted to give her a 1 and I gave her 2?
No, okay. I said if she used the idol, I would have considered giving her 1. I'm not even going to lie.
Okay.
But since she didn't, I'm going to give her a 2. I feel like there's a possibility she can get scooped up in an alliance that needs her if like these other tribes go to war. And maybe she can slip her way through the cracks and get to a place where she needs to go. She can get an epic idol play and save herself or someone else. I don't know. The sky's the limit now that she's kind of like a solo player a little bit. But until I see that, still low. But, she's here. She has an idol. And there are opportunities for her.
Hilarious. I was not expecting it that low, that I was like, wait, what did you just say? All right. Well, the audience gave her 3 dice, so she is going to average out with a high 2, giving her 3 dice. Yeah, this could go horribly wrong and this could go just fine. We really have no idea with her. That is true. Okay, next is Jesse. Chantele.
Oh, I forgot about him. No, because I thought the person that I was going to be doing next was someone different. Jesse. I mean, I liking Jesse. Another Sag over here for you, Sarah. I don't remember seeing that much from him this episode.
In this edit?
Yeah. But I feel as though he must have had some input in, the vote, and he voted correctly, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure that he protected Cody and didn't allow Cody to receive any votes there. I'm not sure about him, but I do feel like he's in a better position than all the threes that I've given this round. So I'm going to agree with Adrian here and Joseph, and I'm going to go for 4.
Yay! 4 for Jesse, who's also living. He just doesn't know it yet. Isaiah, is this too high for you?
No, I mean, I like the 4. I'm going to go 3. I wanted to give him a 4. I like Jesse. I think he's a gamer. I think he has a really good mind for the game, but I am a little worried. I mean, obviously we didn't get to see like the new bonds he was really making or anything, but I don't know if he's really tapped in elsewhere outside of his original tribe. Now, something I did like pre-merge is that he was shown that he's adjustable. When NECA got voted out, that's what had to happen for him. So I feel like he's willing to do what he needs to do. And if he were to get to the end, I feel like there's a good shot that he can talk himself into a win. I feel like he can build a resume maybe. But as of right now, I'm not really sure about his longevity. I've seen Evie before. He feels very Evie-ish, and like I feel like people are going to see that he's a scary player at some point. So I'm gonna give him a 3. Definitely could go higher or lower. But I like Jesse. I hope he does well.
Yeah. Well, the audience agrees with you, gave him a 3, but that does average him out to a 4 dice. We didn't see him do much. Oh, I didn't even talk. I also gave him a 4. That's why that averaged out to a 4. I gave him 4 dice. Did I say that? I'm losing track of time.
I feel like I knew that you were saying that, but I don't think you actually did.
Yeah. Okay. I officially gave him 4 dice. Even though we didn't see a ton in this episode, he was on the winning tribe, and we did see him having conversations, and he did vote correctly. So I did feel like he was doing something. He was in that. So that's why, but also I'm biased because he's Sagittarius. So the audience gave him 3, so he does average out to 4 dice. But yeah, I feel like Cody might be more protected than him, and then he goes because of that, would be my fear for him. But we will see.
We'll have to see who Carla likes more. Like, basically, is what my thought is. And I feel like Carla is going to like Jesse more than Cody, or want to work with Jesse more than Cody. But we haven't seen it yet, so not sure.
Not. Well, speaking of Isaiah, how are you feeling about Carla?
Shout out Carla. She's from Delaware. I'm from Delaware. I like Carla. She has a great mind for the game. I don't really see many people being too afraid of her because I don't know if she's the best at competitions, but she's very strategic. I really like Carla. I feel like people are going to underestimate her unless she lets it out that she's a good player too much. So I like Carla. I really want to give her a 5, but the competitions really scare me. Like, she needed a lot of help during that last one, and looking at these comps, Survivor's very physical right now, so I'm a little afraid. I'm willing to give her a 4. Really want to give her a 5. I really hope she does well. I really like Carla. Bring it home for Delaware.
Well, I mean, I agree. Like, we've given her a lot of 5s this season. She's doing super, super well. We didn't get to see her run the show this episode, which is probably for the best for her. She did not need to come out pulling an Ellie. Like, let Ellie do that and get voted out. So good for her. But I do have to imagine that behind the scenes, she was not going to let James or Cassidy go. Like, she was still having conversations and making sure that her allies were safe. Yeah, that performance on the challenge was roof to watch. So I'm actually taking a dice away, but that still gives her 4 because she's been sitting at a 5 with me for so long. So 4 from me.
Well,
Chantele?
I think that even though she did hurt her hand in this particular challenge, I think that it also will lower her threat level. And so if there are people are weighing out whether like, oh, she's such a big threat, like strategically, but they'll be like, but we can beat her in immunity challenges, most likely. She's injured.
Right.
She's not going to be that much of a threat in that regard. And so they might overlook the fact that she's kind of running things. So I am going to give Queen Carla a 5 to hopefully be siding up with the audience, and she'll be average out at a 5 because I think that she deserves that for this particular episode compared to how everybody else did. I just feel like we're always relaying everything back to Carla. Are they good with Carla? What does Carla think? How does Carla going to vote? Like it's all comes back to her, and that to me is 5 energy. So give me some big 5 energy for Carla.
I love it. The audience did not match you. They gave her a 4. But she has had 5 energy for so many weeks. So we're not going to feel so horrible for her for averaging out with 4 dice. I bet she'll be back to a 5 next week. I'm not worried about Carla at all. Okay. Noel is next. What do I say about Noel here? She was on the winning tribe by pick. She got lucky with her choice. I should ask everybody, what would you have picked, red or blue, Chantele?
I would have picked the same as Noel did if I was Noel. For the fact that I believe she felt safe with her previous tribe mates being on there, that they would keep her and they would be taking out somebody else that wasn't on their original tribe. So I think she chose correctly with who she wanted to be working with, whether they lost. I think she felt that she would be able to stay in the game. So I thought she chose correctly, and she also chose the winning tribe. So yes.
Isaiah, what would you have done?
The same exact thing. It's like you're going to pick the people that you know, that you're familiar with. Like you'd be crazy not to. Even win or lose, I feel like she would have been in a good position. So yeah, I would have picked the same one.
Yeah, I agreed with blue as well, even though I was like, oh my goodness, how are they losing? But luckily they pulled it out. I was a little disappointed with Noel's mouth. That girl could not stop talking. She spilled information. Now, some of that was strategic because she had built those bonds on that journey that she went with. But she was spilling information that was, she didn't realize it was information. And so I really needed her to shut her trap just a little bit. So she is getting 3 dice from me, middle of the road, loved some things, didn't love some things. That's where I'm hitting.
Sarah, you make a good point. I wanted to give, Aquarius Noel, support my Aquarius queen, a 4, but you made a really good point that energy or information is a lot of power in this game. And she just kind of offered up some information about the dynamics of her tribe that I don't think that she should have. I definitely agree with you that loose lips sinks ships. And this loose lip moment could end up sinking her ship. Like, I wonder if we saw that scene because it's going to come back to haunt her. Like somebody with these knowing new information about these bees are going to use it against her or whatever. So I'm a little bit more worried for her now that you kind of reminded me about the fact that she was freely giving away information. And I know we don't want to necessarily take in the preview for the next episode into consideration, but it looks like she might be in the hot seat. I know it's probably a misdirect, but
misdirect.
But I'm wondering if her mouth is going to get her into more trouble in general. So I was hoping to give her a 4 because I thought she chose correctly and they ended up winning. But you're right. I'm going to have to take her down to the 3 for the fact that she talked too much.
Yeah. Also, good point. She voted for Cassidy. So I don't know how looped in she was. True. She could have been and made this choice, but we don't know. Okay, you said 3, yes?
Yes. That's actually bad for her to have voted for Cassidy. That I'm like, do I want to go down even
Chantel's
lower?
like, I'm going to it too.
But like,
She went
why
from
did
a
she
4 to a
vote for
2.
Cassidy? Like, what did Cassidy do? I would have loved to have known that. I
Maybe
guess
she was being messy. I don't know.
was she maybe siding with Ellie and thinking that doing the split vote with Cassidy and James, what was a rope
But
to
that was the
truth?
original plan.
What if it
So
was just like a stray hinky vote or something? Like, I don't know.
But like, then you're gonna have Cassidy and Carla coming for you.
Well,
I don't
know
know.
what?
That's
We didn't even
bad.
talk about that with Carla, but Carla did do a hinky vote with Owen. Like that, I felt was strategically a hinky vote of like, if a advantage gets played, I got to throw one out on this random person. But Noel voting Cassidy makes me think she heard the original plan and then never got the real plan.
But not even from like Dwight, not even from like,
I don't know,
Cody, Jesse.
I mean, maybe she got the looped in and she didn't want to do it. Maybe she liked Ellie. I mean, she went on that journey with Owen, right? She spilled information to Owen because they bonded. Owen is close to Ellie. So she could have just been siding with them, which means she's siding on the wrong side. Or at least for this vote.
Oh boy. Well, Isaiah's probably going to give her a 1, so this will fix my 3, I'm sure.
Oh my god. No, I'm going to give her a low 3. Very close to 2, but I'm going to give her a 3. I like Noel. I think like Gabler, she's one of the funnier people on this season because they're just like out there. I think she's a comp beast. I think she's scrappy. I think she's willing to do what she needs to do, but she's also very messy. She telling everyone all her business. Like even before this on her other tribe, she was on the bottom of that tribe too. Like I'm worried about her. I think if she were to get to the end, no doubt, like I have a hard time seeing Noel not win. But I don't know if she can actually get there. I think that her mouth is really going to get her in trouble. So we gotta see. I would like to see her get some actual alliances with people who really want to work with her. I'm just very iffy on Noel right now, but low 3.
Yeah. And also her story is just right there, right in front of you. Like how amazing she is with like overcoming her like leg. Like she's so amazing. And people see that in every single challenge every single day. And so, yeah, I agree that it's going to be hard for them to let her get to the end just because it's so in your face how awesome she is at challenges and overcoming.
Never let someone with a story get to the end.
So true.
Yeah. No firemen, no COVID nurses.
No busted can of biscuits. No, don't do it. The audience gave her a 3. She is 3 dice across the board for Noel. Okay. Chantele, how do you feel about Owen?
I don't know. Boy. I mean, I gave a lot of people middle of the road this episode. But I think that I'm gonna have to go down for him. Because I think that he had a lot of information, and if he was wanting to save Ellie, he could have saved Ellie by giving her information earlier. So he sat on the fact that Gabler wasn't trusting her, and Sammy wasn't trusting her, and like they had the information of him going in the bag. Like he didn't share any of that information. And before I thought like, okay, that's great. He's going to use it if he needs to be able to secure numbers, which way, or get people to vote with him, whatever. But he didn't at all. But then he still voted out James, and so that could be a problem unless James knows about it. But be like, why'd you vote out me? And that could cause some friction for Owen. And so I'm worried that he's not going to be able to bounce back, not voting correctly, and still. I just not sure how he's gonna do after this. Maybe he wants to secure something with Janine, maybe, and so that's why he did it that way, because he knows she has an idol. And he really wants to have that Chiron at the bottom of the screen. Like he knows someone has an idol. But I just don't know if strategically he made the right move for himself this episode. I know we haven't seen everything, so I could be completely off here. I was going to give him a 3, but I think I'm going to give him a 2 because he had information. I think that if he wanted to keep Ellie, like he might have been able to do it, but he didn't really use that information wisely.
Okay, Isaiah.
I mean, Owen's a hard one to rank.
Yeah.
He's a really out there player. I don't really know where to go with him. Like, I think he is at the bottom. Obviously, voted outside of the vote. Didn't win the challenge. I don't know, but like, Owen's a nice guy. I feel like he can, just like last time, if he survives well enough, like he can slip himself into a good position. Like, hopefully his alliance members get out and then he's there and like, hey, come scoop me up. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as he's not doing too much and he just like falls back, gets on people's good side, like I feel like he could recover from this. I just don't know if Owen's going to do that. He's like a very big fan right now. He's kind of doing a little too much at some points. So I'm worried about him for sure. I'm going to give him like a high 2. We'll love to give him a 3, but I'm just very worried about Owen right now. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the 2 as well. He had all the information. We know this because we saw him in all of those conversations. He talked to the guys when they were like, yeah, no, we got to get Ellie out, but let's keep them calm so they don't play an idol. And he talked to Ellie and Janine, and he told us the last episode that he wanted to side with the ladies. And so then to see that he voted with the ladies makes me think he knew all the information and chose to go on the wrong side of the vote. That's not good. And yeah, he wasn't on the winning tribe to win, safety anyway. I feel like he could get out of this bad place. I mean, he's connected to Noel. I think he does have other relationships. He's a quirky guy, so some people are going to find that endearing and want to work with him. He might be fine next week, but this week I just didn't think this was a very good showing. So,
Great.
The audience did average him a little bit higher. They gave him a 3.
Very fair.
But that doesn't help because he's gonna just average up 2.
He has to be a 2 though. Just he had so much information. If he wanted to make his vote matter, he could have, I think. Or watching him at least attempt to make that happen would have made him bump him up to a 3 in my books. But he didn't make any moves having the most amount of information. He knew where 99%, 95% of all the advantages and idols were. The only one he didn't know was Cody's, and he's going to easily be able to find that out because Noel's already talked about these beads, so he's going to find out in like 5 seconds. Like
he probably already knows because Noel told Ellie. Ellie told Janine. Janine probably already told Owen. Like
I think that when he had his confessional, I don't think he named Cody. It might have, but he might know now. And
but now, yeah.
Like he has a lot of information and he knows where a lot of people are going and like what advantages that they have and how he could potentially use this in his favor. And he didn't. What he did with it is he voted incorrectly. I'm like, what?
It's like you have all this info. What are you going to do with it? Like, yeah.
Okay, so Isaiah, are you starting us out with the next? Yeah, I agree because like if he could make moves, if he is like a Carla type player and can make things happen, he would have done that in this because he had all that information. So I agree. Ryan for Isaiah.
Ryan. Ryan. For my Big Brother people, Ryan reminds me of Fessy, right? Where it's like, I feel like, and that's no shade, but like, I feel like competition guy, very optimistic about life, like he's trying to do this thing, but like, my God, he's playing so bad. This guy, first of all, already on the bad side with your own tribe. Then they win the challenge. He's like, hey, I think we should make a 7-person alliance. Like, what are you doing, bro? I'm so worried for this guy, but I'm going to give him a 2. It's low, but there's a small percentage that he could comp his way to the end. What if he goes on a comp spree or something? So I'll give him that. But strategically, he's doing so bad. I bless his heart. But yeah.
Bless his heart is true. I'm going to stick with this too. Like, I'm sorry. We were giving Ryan high dice because he was so good at these physical challenges. And then boom, last week he was like, and I threw it. And we were like, what? So the fact that he doesn't have one dice is an improvement. Yeah. Who goes to merge and is like, let's all be a final 7, guys? Like, what?
Well, if
no,
you say it like, no, don't actually mean it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, or say it differently.
Yes,
do it like 1-on-ones, like, pull people aside or something. Don't do it.
He just seemed
these people,
thirsty. He was like,
it's
I
bad.
need people. Like, he just came on so strong. I do think that he's likable, and I think that people, they included him. They were giving him information. He was literally passing through conversations. So he had information, but he seems like he doesn't have anyone to work with. Which means someone might scoop him up, but also people are just like not going to give him a lot of value, right?
Now, I'm not going to give him credit for this, but he unintentionally started the vote against Ellie with Gabler talking, saying, "Oh yeah, I'd rather take them out instead." So he did that by accident. I don't think that was on purpose or anything, but I'll give him that credit. Like he started the convos to get that whole tribe to blow up on themselves. So there's something.
And also, I do have to give him, a little bit of credit for his, comp ability again, what he did in this comp to help get Carla up over that. Like, he was insane, as we know he can be. So, he still gets a little bit of credit for that, but sorry, not much. 2 dice for me.
You're giving him credit. I'm taking that credit away because of the fact that he's like showboating and being like, look how strong I am. I'm going to hang upside down so they can climb up on me. Like, yeah, it's really amazing if you're in your own tribe and like that's going to be valued. Yeah, I'd give you probably, 5 for that. Like, awesome. But when it's now individual, when people are looking for any reason to vote somebody out, be like, oh, he's so good at challenges. Let's get him out because if like the first chance that you get, because I want to be the one that wins immunity. So I think that it really made him a nice flashy comp beast target. So I take him down a dice for that. And it's kind of sad, but it seems like he's not included really in any of the strategic decisions on this merged group. And unfortunately, like that sucks because like you're on Survivor, you want to be having conversations, you want to be making moves, you want to be doing things, but people aren't seeming to want to work with him, and I wonder why that is. And so I just don't at this point have much faith in his game because strategically it's not working for me. Yes, he might win a couple of individual immunities, but I think as soon as he doesn't, Carla's going to be willing to let him go. And that doesn't bode well. So I know you guys gave him a 2, but I'm taking him down. He's getting a 1 from me. I'm sorry, Ryan. Uno.
Wow. Well, guess what? The audience actually gave him 3 dice.
Whoa.
They're liking him a bit more than we did.
He's cute, but like, come on,
you watched the same show?
They were distracted by his smile. Or hanging upside down, something. But so that's going to average him out at a 2.
I can live with that.
That's fine.
That is where Orion is. Our final castaway is Sammy. Oh, Sammy. Icon. I love his commentary so much. I talk about that all the time. But he was on the messiest tribe. And he was smack dab in the middle of this mess. He had all the information, and where I'm gonna give him some credit is that when it all came and he realized that they were falling apart, he said, well, actually, Ellie does need to go. So let's take this opportunity. And then he moved forward on, Gabler, you got to like dial it down. Let's be safe. Let's try to keep it looking like we're Baka strong so that they don't play the idol. But let's absolutely move forward on trying to get Ellie to be the target. So I do give him credit for that. So I am going to give him 3 dice. Chantele.
Well, I'm not sure about what I want to do for Sammy. I think I'm going to have to bump him up a little bit than you for the fact that I was counting him out and now I'm counting him in.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking like, do you know what? I didn't think that it was going to work with him immediately telling all that information to Gabler and all that stuff. Like I thought, it's too messy. You're giving away too much information. I don't think it's going to work out, but it's working out.
Yeah.
And so the fact that I'm kind of wrong here with how I thought this was all going to play out, I think I got to give him credit for that. The fact that he's in a better position than I thought that he was in. His reads are getting better. He's seemingly able to be the Gabler whisperer. And it doesn't look like he's a threat in anyone's eyes right now. So I want to give him credit for that. So not a 3, but a 4. He goes up to a 4 for me.
Woohoo. All right. Isaiah.
I was ready to come in here and give Sammy the only 5.
Oh,
yeah.
But I'm gonna give him a 4. I like him. I'm gonna give him a 4. I think he has something that a lot of these players don't have, which is awareness. Game awareness, very important. I think he really knows what place he's in within this tribe structure. I think he has a really good idea of who's doing good, who's doing bad. The only hiccup that he really had, in my opinion, was telling the information and getting caught snitching. You don't want to get caught with your pants down. And we can just hope that doesn't come back to bite him in the future. You don't want the reputation of being known as a snitch, because your word is everything in this game, so it would be cool if he gets to the end. I can easily see him talking his way to be the first how old is he, like 19? Yeah, he'd be like the youngest winner ever. I like that he's still lying about his age. I think it's hilarious. And imagine getting to the end and be like, I'm actually 19, I lied to all of you guys, So
I don't think they should do that though, actually. Not until he wins. If you get
if he wins,
like, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll give a 19-year-old the win, but yeah.
Yeah, but I like Sammy a lot, and I think he has the chops to really do it. He's such a smart player, and I can see so many people in this cast, like a Carla. I can see James. Even Jesse. I can see a lot of people catching on to his thing that he's like kind of like laying down right now. So I hope he doesn't get caught. I really would like to see Sammy pull it out, but only time will tell.
I love that you guys all rated him high. I feel like I just love Sammy so much as a character, and so I feel bad that mine was the lowest, because the audience also gave him 4 dice. So he is going to average out with 4 dice. So I'm very excited that you guys bumped him up. I think he is a really funny person. And even though he's lying about being 22, like, he still comes across very young. So I don't know that people are going to catch on to him, because I think he comes across like maybe he doesn't really
22.
know.
22 and 19 is really young still. So
exactly.
But I do think there was a more likelihood that they would award a 22-year-old the money over a 19-year-old. So
yeah, no, keep the lie going for sure. It's amazing. But to those of us who are over 22, it's one and the same to us, basically. Only to a 19-year-old are they like, I'm 22.
If we went on, Sarah, would we be like, okay, we're 25?
Yeah, I'm like clearly just close to 30, right? Close enough. Yeah, I totally would try to lie. Yeah, so I'm excited to see if Sammy can sort of fall, because honestly, people know he's in a bit of a mess. They know his tribe just fell apart and voted one of them out and didn't all vote the same. So he has to make some friends. He has to make other alliances. He can't stick this out with Gabler. Like, that's not gonna work.
It's a failing plan right there. You don't want to do that.
Well, so overall, you guys, we didn't really have any big extremes. We didn't have anyone average out at 5, and we didn't have anyone average out at 1, although Gabler was pretty close.
As he should. It's like, let me stop.
I need Danny. I'm gonna tweet at Danny and be like, so can you break down?
He's a little busy right now.
Right.
But when he gets back to civilization, we definitely need his insight on Gabler. Gabler was his first round draft pick, Isaiah.
Oh, wow.
Like number 1.
Listen, I respect it. Yeah, these the preseason is so misleading, and I don't blame anyone for drafting anybody nowadays.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it. Well, Isaiah, thank you so much for coming on and talking some gameplay with us. Is there anything you want to promote? Tell the people where to find you and follow you and all that jazz.
Sure. Thank you first of all for inviting me over here. It was a great time.
You get 5 dice. I was
You can find me on all platforms at 8 Ball Bangers. You can also see me podcast on my own network, Silent Podcast. I've been talking about Big Brother, so that's a fun time. I don't cover Survivor over there, but Gia Worthy does on my network, and she talks on Inside Survivor as well. So check her out there, and also find me on Rob Has a Podcast, talking about Love Is Blind this week. So that'll be fun. But yeah, so keep a lookout.
Those love shows. Chantele, you got anything new going on these days?
New? I don't even know. My life is going to be wild for the next little bit because I'm going to be doing my requalifying for flight attendant stuff. So I'm going to be busy. I'll definitely find time to. I've been asked to do by a lot of like my friends, like people that have never been on my channel before, to do Love Is Blind. They're like, I want to talk about Love Is Blind. I want to talk about Love Is Blind. So I may bring someone new to talk about Love Is Blind. So maybe do the first 3 episodes this week. So you might have that to look forward to. And then all the regular staples should be around. So the challenge on Wednesdays and Fridays, and hopefully the Amazing Race on Thursday.
All right, sounds good. I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat who joined and rated and threw out dice. You guys are so fun. I really appreciate it. And if you're joining later, please leave a comment. Let us know if you gave anyone 5 dice. How are you feeling about this merge? Let us know all of that. And we will be back next Monday with more rating. And then I'll be here on Thursday night with David to recap the Survivor episode. So we'll see you guys then. Bye.